And now, Pat Baranski.
Thank you. This afternoon, well, I guess it's evening now, I want to share a few things, and I want to point out the direction our country has went gradually. For the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you about some of the things I've seen because that was my job to do that. During my second enlistment in the service, I was a race relations facilitator. And it was my job to stop people from... Is that better? All right. All right. During my second enlistment in the Navy, it was my job to be a race relations facilitator and to stop people from practicing prejudice against fellow crew members. So during that time, they sent me to school, and I got to work with a number of people that had came through many things, from Watts in California and different ghettos and even the jungles in the Philippines and American territories, and the things that they experienced. And they trained us to see that all these people had the same common values. So it was actually stupid to be prejudiced because they were striving for the same things. And that dealt with the freedom to succeed. That's why people come to America, for the chance and the opportunity to succeed. And they want their families to succeed. They care about their families. And that's common with every group that comes here. And then there's a sense of community. They care about their neighbors. You know, there's some of you folks that are older than me and some that are younger, but I grew up in a community. If the neighbor saw you doing something wrong, they'd put you in place. They'd say, hey, I'm going to tell your ma you don't change your ways there. And I'm sure a lot of you have grown up in communities like that. Well, this is a value that people have. They have a value to succeed, the freedom to succeed, but also they understand there's a freedom to fail. You know, we bailed out millions. In a lot of cases, stockholders became the union. But what did they have in the race? What did they have in the game? Nothing. But yet they ended up as shareholders. And going down, there's a oneness of something greater than self. This country is made up of people, of citizens that care more about things than just themselves. And this is a process of gradualism that this has happened. And yes, there's been some mistakes, and there's been some failures from different groups and wrongs that have been done. But looking back at it, even though they've been the recipients of wrongs, overall, the greater good came about. The Chinese were persecuted, but yet, as a cultural group, they were the biggest cultural group that put the railroad across this country without power tools. In 7 years, Americans did that. Did they say, well, you got to talk in our language? You know, just like when you call a government office, it says to press 1 for English. Well, hey, press 1 and tell everybody, call back when you learn English. The Native Americans, which is a good portion of this town and this part of the state, you know, they say, oh man, we kind of got a raw deal with the treaties. But yet, when they grasped the greatness of this country, per culture, there's more medal winners for valor amongst Native Americans than any other group. They don't think they got the best deal, and they didn't. There was wrongs done. But yet, they realize that they're part of a great America.
Amen.
You know, the blacks came over here as slaves, but yet they brought the ability to work with steel that many in this country did not have. They were blacksmiths. They were people that could work with smelting iron and that. And we used that. They took what they knew and they helped other people build this country. And there's many groups that came and they realized the bigger picture. Now, as a training aid, I want you to take out a dollar bill, a $1 bill, unless you all got just change.